Senate Committee on INEC to submit report on Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Rain washes cemetery in Yobe State. 8 people die after hotel collapses in eastern China. Rescue workers begin search. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayubelia. Thank you for joining. Public attention is shifting to the National Assembly's Senate Committee as INEC will on Tuesday submit its report on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill for the consideration to the upper legislative arm. This bill seeks to amend the 2010 Electoral Act and, if passed into law, will guide the conduct of the 2023 elections. Daily Trust reporter Abdulateef Saloh gives highlights of what the proposed amendment entails.
The Senate Committee on INEC will submit its report on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill to the Senate plenary today. We learned that the Senate Committee met last week to put finishing touches, to the report. The bill is perhaps one crucial piece of legislation that many Nigerians and indeed lovers of democracy across the world are eagerly awaiting its passage by the National Assembly and its assent by the President. This is because of the far-reaching impact the bill will have on Nigeria's electoral process in particular and democratic system in general. The bill was passed by the 8th National Assembly but was denied presidential assent. To avoid pitfalls that imperil the last effort, the 9th National Assembly reintroduced the bill in its early stage and is now on the verge of being passed. The bill seeks to amend dozens of clauses in the 2010 Electoral Act and introduce new provisions. Key amendments proposed in the bill include giving legal backing to the use of card readers and other technological devices during elections, limiting campaign spending by candidates standing in an election, and empowering INEC to review election results declared by returning officers. However, the proposed amendments have been generating reactions from Nigerians over suspected moves against electronic transmission of results, contrary to the original draft of the bill and proposals canvassed by stakeholders during public hearing. Civil society groups and other stakeholders describe the alleged move as coup against Nigerians. They argue that the manual system of transmitting election results encourages rigging and electoral malfeasance, which has been the bane of Nigeria's democratic advancement. They also believe that the upward review of campaign spending will make it possible for the money bags to manipulate electoral process to their advantage over other candidates who may not have the financial war chest to compete in an election. However, the National Assembly leadership has dismissed insinuation and misgivings by some Nigerians that it was bent on accommodating contentious clauses in the bill that will stop the transmission of election results electronically. While the federal lawmakers in the Red Chamber debate the committee's report, Nigerians are watching with key interest to see the outcome of the amendments to the electoral law. While the federal lawmakers in the Red Chamber debate the committee's report, Nigerians are waiting with key interest to see the outcome of the amendment to the country's electoral law.
Meanwhile, the Senate on Tuesday rejected the nomination of Loretta Onoche as National Commissioner of Independent National Electoral Commission. Onoche's nomination is rejected following the consideration of the report of the Committee on INEC, chaired by Senator Kabiru Gaya. The panel recommended Onoche's disqualification as INEC National Commissioner because her nomination is in violation of Section 14, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution on the principle of federal character. Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila says no institution is above the law in response to major newspaper publications against the media regulation bill being considered by the House. The Speaker accused the media of kicking against the regulation of the industry. All major newspapers on Monday published cover page public notice titled Information Blackout, sponsored by the Nigerian Union of Journalists, the Nigeria Guild of Editors, and the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria. Jubilation greeted news of release of the kidnapped Emir of Kajuru, Alhassan Adamu, by his abductors. Adamu is released at about 5 p.m. after spending a night in the custody of bandits. Although the abductors had demanded a 200 million naira ransom, it is unclear if anyone was paid for his release. A top official of the Kajuru Council area, as well as a spokesman of the Kajuru Emirate Council, Ahiru Abubakar, confirmed the release of the 85-year-old traditional ruler. Abubakar said Emir Adamu is released at an undisclosed location within Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State and is in good condition. But 13 other members of his family who were kidnapped along the Emir are still in captivity. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has dismissed claims about appointment of a governor to oversee parts of the state by Boko Haram and Islamic State of West African Province, saying that he is fully in charge of the state. Zulum said this on Monday while briefing State House correspondents on the purpose of his meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. The governor said the claim is not authentic, as his administration is not investigating the issue. Earlier, Boko Haram and ISWAP had claimed that it appointed one Abba Kaka as the governor under a new leadership restructuring by an interim council. Now, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has granted automatic promotion to Private Jamilu Muhammad. The Director, Army Public Relations Office, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, in a statement said the promotion came as a result of the personal military skills displayed by the soldier at a regimental quarter guard during Chief of Army Staff operational visit to the Command Engineering Depot in Kaduna. Decorating the private soldier with his new badge of rank, the Chief of Army Staff said the soldier, who is the acting quarter guard sergeant, had performed his duty far above expectation. The Chief of Army Staff is optimistic that the promotion will spur others to always display a high sense of professionalism in whatever task they are assigned to perform. Yahaya added that this will not only improve the system, but also guarantee success in all military operations. Coming up after the break, 8 people die after hotel collapses in eastern China. Rescue workers begin search. Please stay with us.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
My name is Samuel Dada.
Yakubu Isa, ana mana kabi da jeji.
Aminu Mufa.
A wannan harkar ce muke dan samun abinci, an muke taimaka mu wasu da yawa.
Looking for private jobs. Sometimes you get employed and the process of payment, you undergo some kind of stress.
Thanks for staying with us. Now let's take a look at our top stories. Again, Senate Committee on INEC to submit report on Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Rain washes cemetery in Yobe State. Moving on, Chairman of Abuja Area Council, Adamu Candido, says no political office holder can loot government treasury without the assistance of the civil servants. Candido then calls for support to AMAC's anti-corruption strategy and action plan 2021-2022 being promoted by a non-governmental organization. Over 200 million naira might have been lost due to flood disaster that washed away hectares of rice farms in some parts of Kebbi State, northwest Nigeria. Rice farmers say to date they are yet to receive any relief from authorities. Trust TV's Idris Jibrim visited the area.
Which ordinarily should have been cultivated. But due to this flood, farmers here say they cannot utilize this land because the water has covered everywhere, which it used to be cultivated 3 times in a year. But this year, they could not even cultivate twice in this part of Kebbi State. They are only appealing to the state government to come to their rescue so that this water will be cleared and they will be able to utilize these hectares of lands. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Birnin Kebbi.
Still on flood-related stories, flood triggered by days of rains has washed away low-cost cemetery and destroyed buildings in Gashua local government area of Yobe State. Kaku Bulama Bukar, Gashua local government council community development officer, confirmed this in an interview in Gashua on Tuesday. Bukar said the downpour had exposed some corpses in the cemetery. The officer said the council was taking an inventory of the individuals and houses affected by the disaster. Now, at least 8 people died after a hotel in eastern China collapsed, local authorities said on Tuesday. The bodies of 8 people were recovered, while a further 9 people were missing in the rubble. The city government of Sunzhou in Jiangsu province said the CG Qiangyu Hotel in the city's Wujiang district suddenly collapsed on Monday afternoon. So far, 14 people have been rescued, with 13 of them injured, the city government said. A large-scale rescue and recovery operation were on the way, with search dogs and teams including earthquake specialists deployed, the city said. The cause of the collapse was not initially clear and was being investigated. The provincial authorities called for safety inspections to prevent similar incidents from happening elsewhere. Now, Mayor of Great Manchester in the United Kingdom, Andy Burnham, is taking measures against racial abuse as Euro 2020 ended on an unsavory note. Bukayo Saka, Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho were targets of racial abuse online after England lost the final on Sunday. And that wraps up our news update. Don't forget to follow our social media handles on Facebook at Trust TV News, Instagram TrustTV_News, and on YouTube Trust TV News. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching.